Well, hello there. This is Lee Thurber, and I want to welcome you back to another episode of LivestreamLee.com. And today we're going to be continuing the development of a multi-vendor marketplace app using the Adalo.com development tool. It's a no-code development tool. I was kind of thinking about how to say it. I'll call it no-code. That's what it is. There's a bunch of them out there. Bubble.io, Adalo.com. There's quite a few of them on the marketplace. And what they do is they make it easy for people that are not professional software code writers to be able to use workflow management and logic to be able to create apps and websites that are incredibly robust and interactive. And so we've been working for about 7 or 8 days now. This, I think, is episode 8, part 8 in the development of a multi-vendor marketplace app. And if you think Etsy.com, if you know what Etsy is like, Etsy is a multi-vendor marketplace where a lot of different vendors sell products. Now, it's not like Amazon. It's not like eBay. Amazon and eBay, they both control the payment process. Etsy lets you deal directly with and make payments directly to the vendors that are offering things for sale. So that's what we're building. And today we're going to just kind of jump in. I'm not quite sure. I'll pick up where we left off, but I think today our project for today will be to make it possible for you to place items in an order, and then we'll see how far we can get. Maybe we can actually check out an order. So that'll be in preparation for being able to get multiple different vendors to be able to sell things at the same time. So before I jump in, I do want to say that this is not my full-time day job, though I do develop apps, cell phone apps for clients. My day job is a company called Apricot Rocket. And that is a software platform that our company has developed, which is designed to help businesses grow faster by helping businesses get more customers. And everything we do is focused on helping businesses get more customers and helping them grow faster. The phone apps are part or an extension of that. My basic philosophy is that small businesses suffer desperately from a need to grow faster, to get more clients, that if we can generate more revenues for small businesses, we're going to solve a lot of the problems that small businesses have, which generally focus on not having enough revenues, not having enough clients. So if you're kind of in that bucket, if you're one of those kinds of businesses that would like to have more customers sooner, go to apricotrocket.com and create an account. When you do so, you're going to be getting a really powerful, advanced, and yet easy to use digital marketing suite of tools, CRM, and a bunch of other stuff that really are designed to help you get customers, build communities, nurture relationships, and end up with more customers. So go to apricotrocket.com and get yourself an account. Also, livestreamlee.com is a great place to go, where you can also get information about these episodes, and I record the episodes, and so you'll be able to follow the series. We stream to YouTube, to LinkedIn, to Facebook, and to Twitter. YouTube's a great place to go to be able to get a history of all of the, right there in one spot on my channel, all of the episodes, and especially if you're interested in learning how to use Adalo, because they're all kind of strung together. You can watch one, then the next one, then the next one, and so on. I also want to tell you about a friend of mine named Dan Nelson. Now, I'm a history buff, and if you are like me, if you enjoy history, then you're going to enjoy Dan Nelson's newsletter that comes out every 2 weeks. Dan is one of the most interesting storytellers I know. He does a really good job of spinning yarns about topics that he comes across as he's doing his research. Dan is not only a genealogist, but I think he's a bit of a historian as well. But he publishes a newsletter every couple of weeks that is a lot of fun to read. If you read this newsletter, you will end up being a smarter person, I promise you. And you're really going to like it, especially if you like history. So go to livestreamlee.com. Find the button that says Dan Nelson, click on it, and go sign up for Dan's newsletter. It'll be one of the things you look forward to every other Saturday morning arriving in your email delivery box. All right, with all that said, let's go ahead and just jump right over. I'm going to turn that off, and I'm going to just jump right over to the to the demo that we're building, the app. And I want to just move this a little bit to again, just kind of give you a refresher of where we're at. Now, these are screenshots that kind of tell us what the flow is. And just to recap real quickly, on the left-hand side here, a splash screen, which is when somebody clicks on your app icon on their phone, they land here, and then from there they either sign up or they log in. In either case, it takes you to the home screen, and from there you do things. Now, we're going to evolve all of this as we go along, but the home screen gives you a number of things that you can do, and I'm going to click in just a little bit. On the home screen, you can edit a profile, view a profile, add a product, view products, add a vendor, and view vendors. And so, generally speaking, products or profile is the first column. So you edit your profile, and then you can view a profile. You view your own profile. That's really all we give you the ability to do at this point. You can add products. And then you can view product details, and you can delete products, and then you can become a vendor. You can add yourself as a vendor, and you can basically just list yourself as a vendor in the vendor directory. Now, I'm going to go ahead and log in and just show you the functionality of the app straight through from the front. Actually, we're starting on the home screen. So if I click on Edit Profile, this is the profile for the account that I've created as the main account. And so I can edit my profile, and oh, look right here, I've got this apricot rocket thing hanging out. So we need to clean that up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click over here. I'm going to go to the edit profile screen. I'm going to zoom in, zoom out, zoom in a little bit slower. See right here, I've got apricot rocket, something hanging out there. So I'm just going to delete that. And so that'll remove that piece of text that somehow got hung out there. I don't remember where it came from. So if we click on preview again, we'll go ahead and click on edit profile. We'll see, yeah, now that's gone. I can go ahead and click update profile. And when I do that, I go to my profile where I see the profile layout. Now I can click and go home, or I can go back to edit my profile. If I click home, I come back here. So we've edited and viewed a profile. Now we're going to click on add a product. Here is just a form where I fill out to add a product. I'm going to click the back button on my browser. I'm going to look at view products. Here is a product. I can click on the product to look at the product detail. Now I can edit the product. So I can go in and I can make changes to that product if I wanted to. I click update product. That brings me back to the list of products. And if I click my back button a couple of times, I kind of go back to the home screen. And now if I click view vendors, we'll see the vendors. We've got XYZ drilling, ABC drilling. I can click. I get to go see the detail. I can edit a product associated with this business. If I click my back button on my browser, I can come down and look at ABC. There's really nothing there, just a name. I can come back, and I can add a vendor edit. If I click on view vendors, I can click on this little edit button, and that'll allow me to edit the vendor. Now, the reason that edit button shows up is at this point in time, I am the app owner, and I am the only account on the app. So I'm going to go ahead and close this. Let's go look at our database over on the left-hand side. So you see we have one user, we have two vendor records, we have one product record. Well, this is real simple because I am the user and everything that's on the app is me right now. So let's begin taking this app to the next level of having multiple users. Okay, so first, let's do this. I'm going to come back over to preview, and from the main screen here. I don't have a log out button here, but look at this little button up here in the corner. This is sort of a default button that says log out. So I'm going to click on that, and now I've logged out. So if I come back over and see my user list, we're going to see that it's lee@lee.com. That's my default user. So let's add tom@tom.com. Well, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to log, actually, I don't want to log in. I want to sign up. So I'm going to go over here, tom@tom.com. So I'm going to make it Tom, and then Tom is my first name and my last name. Sign up. And so now I've created an account for TomTom. Okay, so if I click on view profile, there is nothing there because all I'm TomTom. I haven't created my profile yet. Okay, so I can't see anybody else's profile. If I come back over here, if I click on view vendors, I can actually see the other vendors. Look at here, I can edit these vendors. These vendors are associated with lee@lee.com, not tom@tom.com. So I really shouldn't be able to see that. So let's fix that right now. Let's do that. Okay, so here we are over on the vendor list. So this is the screen for the vendor list. So what we're going to do is move over, move it up. I'm going to zoom into this screen for the vendor list. And this icon, this pencil icon right here, was what I was able to click on. Well, I shouldn't have been able to click on that because I am not the vendor. I shouldn't be able to edit a vendor that isn't me. So what we're going to do is while we're clicked on that little icon, we're going to come over here next to the icon. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and name this icon. We're going to call it Edit Vendor. That's the icon name. We're calling that the Edit Vendor. We're going to say done. Now I'm going to click on the three dots and I'm going to change the visibility. So this is currently set to always visible. So let's change it to only be sometimes visible. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, that means that is only going to show up under certain conditions. Well, what are the conditions? It will be visible if, and now we have some choices. It will be visible if the logged in user is, well, let's see, let's try this. Let's go, the logged in user username is equal to the current vendor. I don't have a username in here. I can't do that. I don't have anything that allows me to, so here we go, ven user, username. Let's see what that does, okay? So I'm gonna click done. And now let's go preview, and we're still logged in as TomTom. And so let's go to view vendors, and looky there. This is the current vendor, and I'm the logged in user, and the current vendor and the logged in user don't have the same username, so I can't click on an edit button. Well, how about that? We got that fixed so that I can't edit that vendor. But look at here, I can still delete the vendor. Well, we want to remove that capability as well. So we're going to highlight the delete button. We're going to come up here and we're going to call that delete vendor. Just again, so we'll know what the functionality is without having to go dig down and look for it. Now we're going to change the visibility of that button. We're going to only make it visible sometimes when the logged in user username is equal to the current vendor ven user username. You got to go find these things. Sometimes they're a little tricky to find them. So I'm going to go ahead and click done. So now that I've done that, if I go ahead and preview and log in, which I'm already logged in, I'm going to go to view vendors. And now looky here, I'm on these two vendors and I can't do anything. I can look at them, but I can't edit them. Looky here. I can edit this product and I can delete this product. So we need to do exactly the same thing with the products. Okay, so let's back up just a little bit and zoom in. So now let's go over and find my product. Here's my vendor detail. Here it is, vendor detail. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on the vendor detail. And so here's my edit product button. Again, I'm going to call this the edit product. edit product button. So we're going to click done. We're going to make it change visibility. We're going to make it sometimes visible if, okay, wow, now we got a lot of different choices here. We got current product, current vendor, logged in user. So I'm logged in. So I'm going to choose the logged in logged in user username. Okay, so we're going to test the login username and see if it is the same as the current product vendor, then user username. Okay, now I don't know if that made sense to you, but let's just go back and look at that again. We're going to go ahead and go to the current product vendor, then user username. So this is the username of the vendor's user. So this is the user associated with the vendor. The product associated with the vendor and the current product. So if you kind of read backwards, what we're doing is we're selecting the username of the user who's associated with the product vendor of the current product. You get used to thinking like this. It's basically you're tying a sequence of databases together to make sure that the person who's doing the editing is authorized to do the editing because they are both the vendor that created the product, and so the product you're editing and the vendor that you're editing are the same as are all owned by the logged in user. If any of those things don't connect up, then you don't get to edit it. So we're going to go ahead and click on that. We're going to say done, and we're going to do the same thing now to the delete. So we're going to call this delete product. Okay, and now we're going to set the visibility for delete product as sometimes visible. Again, we're going to choose the logged in user username is equal to the current product vendor user username. Okay, so now we've done that. Now let's go back in and see that we've fixed that issue. So we're going to go ahead and view the vendors. Now we're going to look at this vendor's detail, and we still can do that. We can still edit and we can still delete. So something goofed up in our formula. So we're going to go back and we're going to edit and change that. Okay, so we're going to go back in here. I'm on the edit, and I'm going to do sometimes visible. We're going to go ahead and exit that. Here we're going to choose this. We're going to go with the current product. Let's see, the current vendor. So the vendor that is related to this, current vendor, then user username is equal to the logged in user username. We logged in user username. Okay, so let's do that. Now let's just go check the edit button and see if that's disappeared. Okay, so let's go back over here. Go to view vendors, go to the vendor, and bada boom, bada beam. We just had to tweak our database connectivity a little bit. Again, sometimes you just have to play around with it. So that is the correct one. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead now and do the same thing. So let's just go remind ourselves. We're doing current vendor username is equal to logged in username. So we don't need the product, we need the current vendor. So we're going to highlight this, and now we're going to do sometimes, instead of logged in user username is equal to current product vendor, we're going to do current vendor, then user username is equal to logged in user username. Now we'll go ahead and do that, and we've saved it. Now we'll come back over, and one more time we're going to go look and view vendors, go to this vendor, and now I, being somebody other than the vendor that has the user that owns this vendor that owns this product, I can't edit the product, which is exactly the way it should be. So sometimes you got to just play around with those vendor database, the relationships. All right, so now we've kind of cleaned that up. Now let's go over and look at the product list. Okay, we're going to need to do the same thing on the product list. Okay, so here's the product list table or list group. And so let's go to preview. Now let's go to view products and look at here. Again, I can edit the product. And if I click on the product, I go over here. Well, there's no edit. Sometimes you put edits there, but we didn't do that. So we're not going to worry about it. So we just need to come in here and we need to basically do exactly the same thing here. This is an edit product icon. Okay, and we're going to come in, change the visibility, sometimes visible, and we're going to go with current product, product vendor, then user, username is equal to logged in user, username. All right, so we can do okay on that. Now let's just go again, look, take it one little step at a time. Let's go look at the products and we should no longer be able to edit the product. Boom, correct. We can't edit the product. All right, so now let's just go back in and do exactly the same thing with a delete. So we're going to do delete product and we're going to save that. Then we're going to go set the visibility at sometimes visible. And this is, again, current product. Product vendor, then user, then user username is equal to logged in user username. Okay, so if I'm logged in and as the logged in user, I own the vendor who owns the product, I should be able to delete it. If I'm not, I shouldn't. And so again, we come over and preview. And now if I go to view products, I should not be able to either edit or delete this product. All right, so that's actually an important little cleanup that you need to make sure, of course, that you do if you give those kinds of edit functionalities. Now, since we are at 22 minutes after, so we've been doing this now for 18, 19 minutes, what I need to do is say to myself, okay, what else do I want to accomplish in this episode? So let's do this. Let's put a navigation on here that makes it easy for us to get back where we want to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add to the profile page a footer navigation, and I'm going to add a header navigation. All right, so these are going to allow us to go backwards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this header right here. I just clicked on this header, Control C. Now I'm going to click on profile and I'm highlighting the page. I'm going to click Control V and that pastes it in. Now that puts the header right at the top and it's on top of the image. So if I drill in a little bit here, we've got a lot of stuff right here and it's kind of all tight together. So let's just give us a little bit more space by tightening this up and go ahead and pull full name down. And I'm just going to go ahead and pull this image down so you can see it's kind of right up against the home. Now this isn't the home page, this is the profile page. So what we're going to do is we're going to change some things. First of all, if I click on the header again, now this is called an app bar. I'm going to change the app bar name to profile. And I'm going to add a button on the left-hand side. Now, if I scroll down, you'll see there's a left icon. There's a little switch, yes or no. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. Boom, there's a left icon. Okay, now it's a menu icon. So if I click here in the icon, I want it to be an arrow. So I type the word arrow and I choose the right arrow. So basically it's now a back button arrow. And I want to add an action so that when you click on that, you're going to link back. Okay, so we're not linking to a page. We're not creating a new screen. We're going to link back. The system will track wherever we came from. And I'm just going to leave the transition automatic, click done. And so now we've got a header, but the header says home, and this isn't the home page. Well, that's because we need to change the title. So what we're going to do is we're going to change the title to profile. And now we will have a profile page. It'll say profile. So for our page, let's drill back in. You see it says profile. So now we can actually take this this same header. We're going to Control C for copy, and we're going to come over here and we're going to paste it into the product list page. And since the back button is already there, we're going to go ahead and just change the title. So instead of it being App Bar Profile 2, this will be Product List. And we're going to say Done. And now we're going to come down and change the title. And we're going to call the title Product List. You can see it happening right there on the screen live. And so now I'm just going to copy that page. I'm going to come over to Product Detail, and I'm going to do the same thing, paste it right there. Now I am going to go ahead and move over a little bit here and zoom in just a little, because you can see that the image is on top of the product list. So I'm just going to slide the image down just a little bit, and that still gives us room for the product name. We don't need to move anything else around. So this is the product detail page. So I'm going to click on this. And instead of calling the App Bar a product list 2, we're going to call it the product detail. Thus, that's the app bar named product detail. We're going to come down and change the title, product detail, so that the title shows you what it is. All right, and now we're going to copy this bar and we're going to paste it over on the vendor list, and we'll zoom in a little bit. Now we can see that the vendor list is actually right under the product detail. Excuse me, app bar. Let me take a drink here. Okay, we actually want to call this vendor list. So we're going to change the app bar title from product detail 2 to vendor list. Done. And we're going to come down and change the title to actually say vendor list. All right, so you can see what we're doing here. Now all of these have back buttons in the header. Okay, so they all have a back button. Now you may not really be noticing this, but all of these back buttons are increasing the amount of traffic that's going, basically into and out of. So I want you to just look for a minute at all of the little gray lines in the background so that you can see how many of them there are. They are beginning to grow at a almost exponential rate. So as we start putting links that go backwards, this actually causes more link traffic to occur within the website, within the app. Now, there are 2 links in this vendor list. So I want you to notice that there's a back link which takes you to the previous page. Wherever the previous page that you came from, it takes you back to the previous page. But there's also an exit. When you click on the exit, so if I highlight it and I come down here to the right icon, which is turned on, you see that what does it do? The action is to log you out and link you back to the sign up page. Okay, so what I'm wanting to show you is, as we zoom in a little bit, you see all these little green lines that are coming from these pages and they're going back to the sign up page. That's where these links are coming from. Every time you have the option to log out, the system takes you back and displays the sign up page, which allows you to go to the login page if you want to. So by default, we're sending everybody back to the sign up page. You actually can use the mapping of the little gray lines to give you a sense of where the traffic is coming from. But what I want to leave you with for today is that, generally speaking, it's a good idea to wait to dress up all of these pages until after you have the core, sort of the system functionalities working. So what we're going to work on tomorrow is going to be integrating. I'm probably going to I may come in and remove, I'll probably leave the green app at the top. I'm not going to add any more to any other pages. We'll save that for another day to kind of clean up, tidy up the app when we're done. But we're going to, tomorrow, we're going to work on the building an ordering process where we can go ahead and take the products from the list and order them. We also need to make sure that we can see a list of vendors. Well, we already got that. So we'll just work on the orders. We'll actually work on getting the ordering process and the shopping cart started tomorrow. So see you back here tomorrow. Now I'm going to come back over here and remove that. And I just want to, before I leave, make sure I mention another friend of mine who I keep talking about. His name is Carlos Cantu. He is a risk management specialist. Carlos is the guy that knows what you don't know. Now, Carlos has been around the commercial insurance world for, I don't know, 30 years. It's a long time. And he has seen just about every kind of calamity happen to a business that you can imagine. And it is his job to help you figure out what are the likely calamities that could happen to your business and have you prepared with the right kind of coverage at the best price so that you have the most protection. I mean, let's face it, as an entrepreneur, small business owner, we put a tremendous amount of effort and energy into building our business. And the last thing in the world you want to have happen is you get 5, 10, 20 years into building your business. And then just as things are starting to go well, something horrible happens for which you're unprepared, and it wipes out all the hard work that you've done. That can devastate somebody's life financially, can just hurt in so many ways. Well, Carlos can help you protect so that a major calamity type event, if it occurs, doesn't wipe you out, doesn't destroy your years of hard work. And this is the kind of thing that smart business people do. They reach out to Carlos or a guy like Carlos, and they make sure that they are protected. Go to livestreamly.com. I'm going to tell you, you're going to be better off if you do this. Go to livestreamly.com, find the Carlos Cantu button, click on it, and give Carlos a call. He's a great guy, and he'll help you out. You'll be glad you talked to Carlos. He's a good guy to know. All right, go to apricotrocket.com again and get yourself an account. Come back here tomorrow, same time, same channel, 3 o'clock. And we will continue our development of the multi-vendor marketplace app. There's still a lot to do. Bye now.